Hi, this is Julie from the Sewing Palace, and we have something really fun to show you as always, but we are going to be doing a new block of the week this summer, and we're very excited. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's paper pieced, and we're going to do a new method called paperless paper piecing, which means you don't have any of that paper to tear out, which is going to be so great. Fast, easy, and fun to do. So here's just a few tools, and then I'm going to talk a little bit more. You'll need a nice little iron. The ironing mat with the cutting table is really easy because you're just constantly using the two together. So those are good tools to have. You'll want freezer paper, and the store-bought freezer paper, this brand, like a brand that's from the store, the quilt store, instead of like your Reynolds wrap, it has more glue to it. It has more wax on the back, so it's going to last better and hold better for you. Our old Reynolds wrap used to have some great stuff, but it's not quite the same as it used to be. We are going to want some nice scissors to trim with. You're going to want to add a quarter ruler as well. The number 10 foot, that's really an important piece of this. Now, if you don't have one, you still can do it, but the 10 is really easy. It's got a guide through the middle. It's called an edge stitch foot. And it's open so you can move your needle right or left if you need to, but we're going to use it to go right behind that guide and make the paper piecing much easier. And then, of course, your rotary cutter and a nice little scissors will make this be a nice, fast project for you. So, the Almond Country Beauty quilt that we're going to be doing is a beautiful quilt. You can see it behind me and beside me here. And this is going to be so much fun because everything is included. So when you open your pattern up, you're going to get the information and all the instructions, but you're also going to get your template pieces in the size they need to be. No need to go copy or make copies, and that's, you know how that is. You just get to start on a project and find out you have to make copies. So there is an original copy, and then there is a copy for you to paper piece through, which you're not even going to need because I'm going to teach you such a great method, you're not going to need it. And then you also have your background pieces like your arcs and that, they're all included in here. So easy to use, and I'll show you how to make that just so much fun. And this is going to be the most beautiful quilt ever, and so much fun. Like I keep saying that because it's so much fun. So we're going to start out with making this little arc right here, and I want to show you just how easy that's going to be. And I've got a piece ready and prepped. So the reason you want the template plastic is you're going to have your piece, and you're going to go through and fold each one and crease it, because as you work, that's going to be your line you're going to use, and that's a pretty important detail to put into place. Much harder to iron or to fold once you've got yourself going. So again, it's kind of like paint by numbers, so you're going to follow the numbers, and sometimes I will just put a little color in there so I know what's the bottom and what's the top. But the arc on the top is always going to be your background, and then the spikes will be your colors. So we're going to start by putting your first piece on, which happens to be the background. And because I've folded it, I have a pretty good idea of where that is going to be. So I'm just going to make sure that my fabric covers it. So just kind of set that on there. You're always going to press, not iron, press from the back side. Now pressing is going to keep that freezer paper intact. If you iron, it tends to move it and it won't stay as well. So once we've got that piece on there, I'm just going to cut this little bit of extra off here because we don't really need that. We're going to take our template plastic once again, and we're going to fold it on that line that it's already folded. If I push that up, we are just going to slide that paper because it's on there, but it isn't. So that's kind of nice. Take your add a quarter ruler, slide it right up to the template there, and give it a cut, and you're prepped for your next piece. So we're going to take a colored piece of fabric, and this is kind of nice because we're going to give you a nice little stack of fabrics in the kits so that you can begin to piece. And we're going to go over here to the sewing machine. So, and this is kind of neat because if you've done paper piecing before, you know that you have to shorten your stitch length and do all kinds of things. In this, you do not have to shorten your stitch length. And we're going to run the guide right here along the edge of the freezer paper, which makes it really nice. So we're just going to go ahead with our regular stitch length. You could shorten it if you wanted to, but there's no pulling on those seams, so you don't have to worry about it. And we get to the end, and we're going to walk right back over here to our ironing station. And I think people just kind of flip things too much, so we're going to turn it over, open it up, and then we're just going to press. You're going to give it a nice press so it stays in place. And then we're going to go back over here to your next piece and fold again on the line between 2 and 3 because we're adding piece number 3. So we're going to fold between 2 and 3. And I just like to fold that all up, and then you can separate that back out of the way. Use your add a quarter. Give it a nice cut. And then we're going to start with another background again. Now, the other thing that's kind of nice, we've added this quarter, and guess what? That's going to butt up right even with there, so I know easily placement. I'm not guessing where that needs to go. I'm just going to be able to stick it under there and know it's going to fit. So we're going to sew this next piece once again. May be able to see it a little better because we've got some color right along that line. Have a glass of wine, laugh with your friends. You don't have to concentrate so hard when you do this kind of paper piecing. It's kind of fun. So we're going to go back to our iron once again. And we're going to open it up. We're just going to lay it flat on its belly and open it up and press. And you can see how nice that just starts to happen. And I'm trying not to iron because that's a habit we all have. And so on, and we'll fold it and go ahead and keep adding our colors until we get something that looks like this. So here's our finished piece, and we have to trim it because it's obviously got all the raw edges. So if you have a rotating mat, that's a really nice way to do it. Now I'm going to take my ruler here, and I love that it has this little 1/4 inch mark because I'm going to set it on the seam line so that when I cut, I know I'm getting an actual 1/4 inch mark on there, which is a good way to make sure you're accurate. Trim that off. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side, putting that line on the line of the seam allowance, trimming. Now if you have the rotating mat, you can just rotate it as you cut, but otherwise you're just going to take and cut on these lines that are already there for you and just curve it around and follow. Nice sharp rotary cutter blade at this point makes your job much easier. So once you get one trimmed off, we'll move that away. Isn't that looking just nice on the back there? And we'll make the next cut here all the way around. So now that piece is looking nice, and look how nice this looks on this side. And because of the accuracy, you're not going to lose tips. And then you're going to reach over and grab that paper off the back and give it a little pull. You can see it sticking there, comes off, and I can reuse this piece to create another one. So you've got this nice, beautiful piece that you've made, and you're ready to go. Now what's nice is when we're doing this block of the week, these pieces are all the same. The center, same size. This arc is the same size, and these are the same, and also this one is the same. But when you get out to these outer points, they all start to change, and that's really what makes this such a beautiful quilt, is the variety, and you're going to learn how to do that. So guess what? This is a limited edition. There are only so many spots, and we'd love to see you this summer. Come play with us. There's additional teaching classes as well, so you can learn how to do the paperless piecing and how to piece arcs. So come see us or sign up on the website, and have a great summer. We'll see you soon.